There we go.
Okay, there we go. Well, welcome to our Friday coffee. I'm Susan from the Chamber, and in a minute, we're gonna do introductions. We are on location at a beautiful link and President's Room, so we're gonna do introductions, but before I introduce, I just wanna do a little reminder, we have a few people that are joining us on Zoom, so when we talk, let's project so everybody can hear us and they'll be able to participate in this Friday coffee, whether they're here or they're joining us on Zoom. Also, we ask that the program mute yourself so there's no background noise, and also don't record without permission the program. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our sponsor first, Blue Sky Restoration, along with Cumulus. So Trisha, you want to stand up?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Trisha Barnes. I'm the Business Development Manager with Blue Sky Restoration, and this is Brian Vincent. He is my PD, one of them, but he's here today. For those of you who don't know who Blue Sky is, we came to Columbia in January. We are a restoration disaster response team. So we have 4 pillars, which is restoration, renovation, environmental, and roofing. So we take care of broken buildings. So restoration, we do the mitigation, insurance. Reconstruction, we do renovation, which is your elective rehab and repair, non-insurance. Environmental, which is all your asbestos, your mold, your biohazard cleanup. We do all roofing, and then we also do healthcare restoration as well. This is, I'm gonna let you guys read this, but if you want to go to the App Store and download our app, it gives you emergency guides. So anytime a disaster comes in, you guys can go in there and be prepared. We focus more on commercial buildings. So for instance, if the hospital gets hit by a tornado, again, we can come in and respond to that. We offer master service agreements, meaning we would be the first to come out and take care of your property. And then we have a first aid program as well. So if any of you guys were affected by the hailstorm in your commercial buildings, feel free to reach out to me. We will walk your building. We will let you know if there's any damage. And then whether it's insurance or non-insurance, we can help take care of it. And then in general, if you guys just have any commercial buildings that have damage, or if another hailstorm comes through, any kind of renovation, so just give us a call. I'm going to let Brian kind of talk about what he does.
So I'm Brian with Blue Sky. I'm the project director here. Basically, what my job is for, if you were to call Trisha, me, the other project director, we want to arrive on site to see what you have going on. We want to be the first people there on site to help kind of determine the situation, what teams we need to call in and start any remediation or repairs that may need to start. Or if you know, like she was talking about commercial roof, we can help assess the damage and see maybe was it within the last 5 years, can we get it covered by the insurance claim? So, I'll come up, I'll go walk the roof with whoever needs to walk it with me. We'll kind of just assess all the damage and situation from there. And then I'll help work with the insurance, the contractors, anybody that needs to make everything as easy on anybody as possible. So the only person you have to deal with is me. And then I'm in constant communication. I try to give day-to-day updates, whether it's via email, text message, or something. That way everyone stays in the loop. There's no surprises near the middle, the end, or something like that. Like, hey, where's this? Well, it's right here. So that's basically what I do here.
We typically work with property owners, insurance adjusters, any kind of commercial owners, any hospitals, those things like that. So again, if you guys have any issues with your buildings, if you're buying a building, the houses on Capitol Avenue kind of strike me right now. We want to know what we're going to be doing with those. We would love to go and walk them, tell you guys what it would take to get it back up. We specialize in historic homes as well. We've got a couple of them going right now. So our main office is based out of Colorado. We are a national restoration company. However, we have a local presence here. We plan on being local. My areas are Columbia, Jeff City, Lake Ozark, and surrounding areas. So again, if you have any building needs, have any questions, if you even have home water, fire, cleanup, call us. We'll help educate you on what to do with your home, and we can possibly take care of your home depending on the size of the project.
And I check everything for free. I drive everywhere, so all the way up to Springfield. I'll take a look at it and help you kind of determine what needs to be done with it.
Well,
And you're not gonna get us call center, you're gonna get me getting out of bed at 2:00 in the morning, coming to your property because I care about you guys and getting your business or your house back up as quickly as possible.
Well, Trisha, you had one home that you didn't mention that this guy worked on.
Try not to speak out about that one. Too, I mean, I'm gonna leave it up to them, but I'll let him speak out about it if he wants to. But we are very proud of that project and I'm sure that they're gonna enjoy it for years to come.
Yeah, the president's home. Certainly. Well, I know you've got some door prizes to give away, but why don't we go around and do introductions and then we'll do the door prizes. So, Bradley, you want to?
Bradley Kellerman with the Boy Scouts of America.
John Powell, Farmers Insurance Biologist.
Christopher Scott with Christopher Scott Farmers Insurance.
Yeah. There you go.
Jake Lard, Color Family Chiropractic.
Frank Reisick, Evening Rotary and Capital Area Interfaith Alliance.
Why don't we go back, Aaron, we'll just go back and come up.
My name is Aaron Shea, and I am with Potentiality Coach.
Laura Bennett-Smith, Lincoln University.
Brian Bertzgetter, RJ Shearing Associates.
Darius Rondell, Accord Mortgage.
Denny Hawkins with Three Rivers Hospice.
I'm Heather Whiteside, I'm a social worker, LCSW for Three Rivers Hospice.
Dawn Swayze with the state of Missouri.
Mike Holscher with Legends Bank.
Amy Rogers with Council for Drug Free Youth.
Joe Bubba, Legends Bank.
Dennis Miller, Legends Bank.
Rochelle Weaver, Cumulus Media. Kim Slaughter, Riverbend Dentistry.
Tim Spearswell, Bar Engineering.
Andrea Holloway, Executive Director with Council for Drug Free Youth.
I'm Ron Fitzwater, I run the Missouri Pharmacy Association and also represent Ward 4 on the City Council.
Good morning, Ryan Geldersley with ABC 17, Fox 22.
And Doug Rhodes with ABC 17 and Fox 22.
And Leah Teams with ABC 17 Fox 22.
We got one here, even though you looks like you're one of the presenters, but.
I'm not presenting, I'm Majid Adoué. I'm with Lincoln University, Dean of the College of Agriculture, Environment and Human Sciences.
Here.
Kerry Gant for the Architects Alliance.
Keith Brickey, Central Missouri Professional Services.
Ashley Timmy, Chamber Staff.
Sean Sattenfield, Chamber Staff.
I'm Dan Lester with Catholic Charities.
I'm Crystal Backer with Cafeterias.
And I'm Greg Reno with Human Media.
Did we get everybody? Okay. Well, now you know who's gonna be competing for the great door prizes that Trisha has to go away. So Trisha, why don't you tell them what you're giving away and then we'll try.
We want to start with the smaller ones first.
Sure.
These are insulated, cold and hot. You can use it for wine, coffee. We all kind of know what these are. They're really good, especially for golf courses. And you get $10 chamber bucks on the back. And then you have my business card in case you have a disaster. Crystal Backer.
So. Come on up and you would be in? Oh, Trisha, he's on.
I was gonna hand it.
All right, there we go. Okay, got it.
We got two more of these, so. Kim Slaughter.
Be a winner, there you go.
We have Russell Weaver.
Oh,
Rochelle. Oh, Rochelle.
Rochelle, I'm sorry, I just got that. You can tell me like.
It's so better than that. All right. Good.
And then this one has a lot of ours flag in it. There's golf balls, there's wine cups, there's a charger, there's a wireless speaker. And then I also gave back to Lincoln. There's 2 casino night tickets in here for the casino night coming up, so.
All right.
Ready to give you your name?
Darius Rondell.
I have to take your picture. You're sure you're not, oh, now, come on.
I had a mask on, your beard has grease in it.
Okay, thanks for allowing me to come in.
Well, thanks again, for being our screen, sir. Speaking of sponsors, your business can be a sponsor too. We have Rochelle, not Russell, or Greg. Why don't you talk about this sponsorship? The chamber has teamed up with Cumulus to help us offer this opportunity for you to sponsor. So Rochelle?
Yeah, well, we have 7 great radio stations and then our digital platform that we have here that we talk to close to 200,000 people in the community. So now what we need to do is get with someone from Blue Sky, who will custom craft a unique radio ad that will air on one of our radio stations. So yeah, it's kind of a great opportunity, one, to be here in front of everybody, then afterwards, the message will carry on.
Good. Thank you. We appreciate that partnership. I'll do some announcements for the chamber. Oh, it was. I thought that. Okay, I'm going to welcome some new members. I don't know if any of these new members were here today. I don't think so, but All-in-One Medical, Norman Cook, All Seasons Roofing, Rachel Boucher, Brandon, which is Sarah Meanwasser. Oh, Farmers Insurance, yeah, and we're gonna have a ribbon cutting soon, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. Angie Fitton Designs, Angie Fitton, George Hartsfield, a private individual, Pinmac, Katie Cook, and Tier 3 Fitness, Holly Geisler. So we welcome those members. Announcements, we do have our social media forum, which is the opportunity that our members have to come together and share tips and trades for using social media to promote their business or organization. Natalie and Kenny Newville facilitate that. Although this particular month, we do have a guest speaker, Leslie Bickle. She is a local influencer, and it's how to create reels to engage with your audience. So that is August 19th from 8 until 9. That's a hybrid, it's Zoom, and it's at the chamber. I encourage you to join us for that. Another event that you can attend for networking, a little different than this. This is a more of a formal setting, but an informal setting for you to share business cards and socialize with chamber members is Chamber Connections. It's always on the third Thursday from 4 to 5:30 at a different member restaurant or bar. It's at Colton's this month. It's August 19th, and our sponsor is Jefferson City Autoplex. So I encourage you to attend that. A big networking event that we have and a wonderful opportunity to recognize leaders in our community, give some awards away. It is our Chamber Gala. It's a little different this year because we had a virtual annual meeting where we officially changed over from our 20 to our 21 officers, but the social part of this event is the Havana Nights Gala. It's at Canterbury Hill Winery on September 10th. Inside, outside networking opportunities for you to have theme entertainment, just a lot of fun. We've had great response from this already. Our sponsors, so proud to have our sponsors involved, but you can buy a ticket, 1 or 2, 3 tickets and attend this event. It's September 10th at Canterbury Hill Winery. The YP Summit, I know there's several YP members in here and some of them are even working on this. Trish is. The YPs have a professional development day each year, and they call it the YP Summit. This year it's September 14th. It will be at the Missouri Soybean Center for Innovation. We're so proud that they are hosting that, allowing us to see that great facility they have there. But it's a lineup, great speakers, networking all day.
One may be Brad Pitt's sister.
Yeah. So it is really an opportunity for young professionals to come together, not only from Jefferson City. We invite young professionals from the Lake and Columbia, and we hope to have over 100 young professionals there for a full day of professional development and networking. And that committee has worked very hard to get a great lineup of speakers. So that information is all listed on our website. And if you want more information, we can get that to you. Sean's here. He's got a couple of announcements.
Sure. Good morning again, everyone.
You have to come up here, you won't be on the camera.
The Business Solutions, we are partnering. This is a new venture, but we partner a lot with the library, River Region Library on different things. And so Business Solutions, this is a program they had before COVID. It kind of settled a little bit. They couldn't do it, so they're partnering with us and trying to get the word out, bringing the program back on board. So as you see, these are going to be monthly educational series. The first one, August 26th, 8 to 9 o'clock, And it will be, what the partnering part is above is they'll be using the chamber office, so the Grimshaw room. So if you know anyone that would like to join or yourself, please come and join us on August 26th, 8 to 9 o'clock.
Great partnership. You're on again.
And on again, pitch it and win it. This is the 10th annual. It is the Shark Tank, as I always refer to it. Most of you hopefully have heard about this, as we've been doing this, as you can see, for 10 years. RMI, Rural Missouri Inc., again, is going to be our sponsor. So $5,000 to the winner of this competition. Deadline to register, and we've been sending information out to all of our members and to our partners as well, is October 1st. And then in combination with the Leadership Summit on November 10th, that will be the final pitch competition. So if you know anyone that's interested, or if you're interested yourself, please give me a call there at the office or go online at our website to register. One quick thing I would like to say is that Lincoln University, Dr. Burgess, Dr. Frank, and now Lauren Carter have been with us for the entire 10 years. So shout out to them in the partnership that we have.
Great. Okay, and with that, I'm gonna introduce Gary Plummer. He didn't introduce himself, but no introduction.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Gary Plummer. I'm President and CEO of the Chamber. And welcome to the President's Room at the Link. I was telling John earlier, it reminded me vividly of an experience I had in 1997. I left the Jefferson City Chamber in 97 and accepted the job as president of the Waterloo, Iowa Chamber of Commerce at that time. And I showed up to park on my first day, and I had noticed they had removed the reserve sign for the guy that had been there 18 years and retired. His name was Jim Lawrence, because you could still see reserved for Jim Lawrence on the wall. They put up a new sign that said reserved for Chamber President. And it's just a stark reality that nothing is permanent. We're hoping that someday this will be known as the President Moseley Room, rather than just the President. When Dr. Moseley saw my bio of him that I was going to read this morning, he implored me not to do that. So but I will just tell you that he joined this university in 2014 as the head men's basketball coach. I think it was 2016 you were named athletic director. And earlier this year, he was named interim president of Lincoln University. I think it was in May. And we're just delighted to have the opportunity to work with him on a regular basis. I run into this guy everywhere in town. I know he and his wife Crystal and their daughter enjoy Jefferson City a lot. And it's just a very welcoming difference to see his vision for this university and where he wants to take it. So please help me welcome Dr. John Moseley.
All right, so he's got a cue to tap his foot 3 times when it's time, because I can go for a little bit. And, first of all, Gary, thank you to yourself and to the Chamber for this opportunity. Really quickly, just to put the whole story together with Blue Sky, the president's residence was hit in 2019 by the tornado, took a direct hit, and there was a lot of damage there. And so I didn't realize my timing was as good as it is. Once again, they were going to be today's sponsor, or I would have had a picture of the residents. But what I'm hoping to do is allow people from the area and many of our alums when they return to visit that space to see what's taking place. The renovations are beautiful. In the midst of that renovation, they discovered a half window that's beautiful, adds great natural light to the space. They found 2 fireplaces that have been covered up throughout the years that have now been exposed. And it's really, truly a beautiful, beautiful space. Crystal and we have no plans to move there because we love our house in Jefferson City already. We love our neighborhood. But we want to use the house for entertainment. And so we're going to have different events there. We're going to have people over. We're going to use it to increase funding for the university one way or the other, either through friendships or fundraising or fundraising. But it's a beautiful space. But thank you to you and you guys and your company. for all the hard work up there. We are inches away from being completely done, and the furniture is set to arrive. I think my biggest concern, I'm so daggone tight, and I'm concerned about whether or not I'll get the permanent position, is I thought, I have to buy furniture for that whole house. I'll be paying them to work here. And so, but there is furniture that the university owns that is going to be put back into the house in 2 weeks. And so at that point, that's when we'll start opening it up for entertainment reasons. We are auctioning off tomorrow night, dinner for 6 at casino night with the president and his beautiful bride. And so that's another incentive for Darius to be there. And now, if you still need tickets, they are still available. And so we want to see you there tomorrow night. Now, as far as the vision, you know, I've taken over this thing, where do we grow from here? And so if you were here last Friday, my talk's a little different. I didn't want to bore you, but some of the messages are the same. I think it's important, before you know where you want to go or grow, that you know where you are. And so there's a long history here. As Gary mentioned, I arrived in 2014 to coach men's basketball, became the interim athletic director in 15. In 16, that interim tag was removed. Was encouraged by the then president to pursue my doctorate for no understanding as to why I would ever want to do such a thing, because you didn't need to have it to be a coach or an athletic director. Returned to Mizzou, first time I've been in a classroom in about 18 years as a student, and asked myself many nights, why am I doing this? And then lo and behold, Crystal and I graduate, my wife, we both graduate same day, May 7th, from Mizzou with their doctorates, and May 22nd, I became the interim president. I don't know how many paths have been that quick to the presidency. There's been questions about my academic background, which I completely understand. But if you look across the landscape of higher education right now, a lot of universities are going non-traditional with their presidents, because in some ways the traditional academic model is not lending itself to success. And so I'll face those challenges. I have no problem building relationships with people. And so that's what we're going to work to do here. Enrollment-wise, though, you guys have been here much longer than me, at least many of you. If you are a Lincoln graduate right now, can you raise your hand? Okay, and so thank you. And so I often say that in many spaces, because I know for me, in my 18 years in my higher education experience, 12 of them have been on HBCU campuses. Lincoln University is the most diverse campus in the country, regardless of HBCU or PWI or minority serving institutions. In 2019, we were as close to 50-50 or as close to even. It was like 49-47 from a racial background. And so, you know, it's, I tell people all the time, of the 3 HBCUs where I work, Lincoln is by far the most diversity. And our diversity is our greatest strength and our biggest challenge. And so I'm willing to face that head on, to sell more of the strengths, but also to face some of the challenges. When I show these numbers don't come with a race. They're students. Lincoln is we're in the business of education, and we need students. And so enrollment in fall 96 was 1622. Going back to 94, the peak was 2,200 full-time students in 2011. Since that time, it's been on a drastic decline almost every year, to the point that last year, in fall of 2020, we began the school year in the fall with 1,394 students, which was our smallest full-time enrollment from the data that I can mine. And so is that cause for concern? It is, but I also see it as a great opportunity. We started to see a significant decline in 2015 with local recruitment. And so those numbers started to decline. 2016, it went down even more, 2017, and that's been on a downward trend as well. In about 2018-19, we started to see a decline in our national student or residential student population, meaning who come here for the HBCU experience, which I'm going to talk about. For information purposes, the university went to a flat rate tuition. Last year was our first year doing it. I am a huge supporter of it. This was the first institution where I've been employed that was a la carte, which means you chose how many credits you were taking and you knew what your bill was going to be. It's hard to recruit students when you don't know what their bill's going to be. And so this gives us an opportunity to offer 12 to 18 credits. The tuition rate stays the same. The fee structure is just a little bit. So when you say, hey, what's a semester going to cost my child to go to school at Lincoln? For tuition and fees, it's gonna be somewhere between $3,000 or right at $4,000 and $4,100 per semester. That's without any scholarships, without any federal aid, without anything. You ain't gonna get that in many places. Okay, and so, this is a huge selling point. Local students should choose Lincoln because it's local, it's affordable, and it's quality. You look at the hands that were raised today, and you think about your career, you can't tell me that another university would have prepared you any differently than what Lincoln did. And so we've got it here. We don't have to go to other places. Now, some of that's on us. And just for instance, one thing we're going to tackle this year is part-time tuition is $224 per credit hour up to 11. Okay, and then you got these two fees are per credit hour. We're going to adjust. We're going to work on these two. It's one of my challenges. It makes no sense to charge a student taking 3 credits the same amount you're charging a student that's taking 18. And so those are little things that a basketball coach notices, right? And so you're like, well, how does this make sense? And so we're gonna work on that. And then our students, all of our students, included in what you saw on the first screen, all of our students have access to the link for wellness. One thing we're really gonna work hard to do is change our scholarship structure. You're the first group that I've shown this to outside of the committee, but this is not exact, but this is what we're trying to go to. Currently, the university has 4 scholarships that are available to students. It's called a Curators, a Presidential, Institutional, and a Dean Scholarship. Those are the academic scholarships for the institution. All right? I don't like those because 5 of us can have the same GPA and ACT score, and 1 of us may get that scholarship. That's not equitable. It's not right. It's not using the scholarship money as an incentive to entice students to come to Lincoln. And so what we want to do is go through this model that when you apply, when your student applies, if they have a 3.9 and a 21, they know they're going to get $1,500 a semester from the day they apply. It's no questions have to be asked. It doesn't matter who your mom and dad are. It doesn't matter who you know at the university. And to be honest, that's really how that system's been built. That benefits every student at the university. It's not one class of students that benefits more than the other. And so to do this, we are going to need buy-in from individuals that say, hey, we believe in the value of education and we want to support academic scholarships for students because we want to attract better quality students to the university. And so that's going to be something that we talk about as we go through the years. Now, where did Lincoln students come from? These are states that over the last 3 years, this is where our freshman class has come from. And so the 2 biggest states that we've attracted from are the state of Missouri, obviously, and the state of Illinois. Missouri is primarily heart of Missouri, right here, then a 30 to 60 mile radius of the campus. You have Kansas City, including Kansas City, Kansas. You have St. Louis, including East St. Louis, Illinois. And we're going to work to attract more students from the Blue Hill, an area where we have a presence through our ag extension offices right now. But historically, the university has recruited a lot of students from the Haytop, Carruthersville area, Sykeston. And so we've got to go back to those areas and have a presence. And then Chicago, Illinois. Chicago is probably our largest state feeder, city feeder outside of the state of Missouri. And so how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to tackle local recruitment. This is all local schools in what we call the heart of Missouri. And so this is where we've got students from 16 to 20, 142 students during that time have come from Jeff City High. That's been our largest. Helias is up here. They have a tremendous number of students as well that we get students from, 48. And so this is just something we haven't done. I sat in this building in 2019 in a meeting with the guidance counselor from Jeff City High, and I said, hey, listen, it was in March. And I said, hey, how many times has Jeff City been on your campus? I mean, how many times has Lincoln been on your campus this semester or this school year? And the answer was 1 time. And it just, to be honest, it made me mad. Because I take great pride in selling this university everywhere I go. And that's personal for me. I love Lincoln. I was told I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to stop saying that. I love it. I love what it stands for. I love what it represents. But we've got to help ourselves some too. But we need your help. It's got to be a team effort as we go through this. But to do this, to accomplish this part and how we're going to recruit locally, Because there's this misnomer that if you start to emphasize recruiting locally more, that you're gonna take away from recruiting your national students, majority of your minority students. And so I believe that you can recruit both of them equally. It's just a matter of coming up with a plan to do so and allowing data and information to drive those decisions. And so what we're gonna do is, I think coaches, here again, my athletic background, I think coaches are some of your best salesmen for your university. They have to sell their program. They have to sell their university in addition to their program. Because the student's not gonna come here simply to play a sport. They also wanna know, what's my classroom experience gonna be like? Where am I gonna live? And so we need to use our coaches. We're gonna offer some of our coaches an opportunity to become recruiters for the schools, for the university, and we're gonna provide them a stipend or some kind of salary to be responsible for one of these colors. And that's your area, and you've got a metrics for how many times you have to touch base with those guidance counselors to recruit those students. Here, don't start tapping. For the national students, for the cities, for the metro cities that we're already recruiting from, we're gonna continue to use our admissions office to recruit from Kansas City, St. Louis, and Chicago. We're gonna continue to use those people to recruit those places. And that's where they should put their focus. We can't be everywhere at Lincoln. We're resource challenged at Lincoln University. We can't pay. We had some states that we've gotten 1 or 2 students from. We're not gonna pay to send a recruiter to Washington, D.C. if we get 1 student every 4 years. That makes no sense. All of you run businesses. This is a business. This is a business decision. But what are we gonna do to make sure that we still have a presence in those spaces? Every dot represents where we have an alumni association chapter. And so we're gonna empower our alumni association, and we've given training in the spring. We're gonna go back and circle back and give more training here in the fall. And then we're gonna try to provide them with the collateral and a tablecloth cover and send them into the spaces where their college fairs are and ask them to be our primary recruiters in those spaces. We wanna empower them to feel comfortable doing that. And so, because we still wanna draw students from these areas. We don't wanna shut students out. We don't wanna shut the Lincoln story out, but we gotta come up with a more fiscally conservative, responsible way of doing it. When you think about Lincoln, you think about your majors, and most of them jump straight to nursing. Our nursing program is one of the best in the state, among the best anywhere you can go. I'm very proud to say that even in this time, I already knew that, but in this time of transition, I've learned that there's been a number of students that have transferred from the Zoo's nursing program to come to Lincoln to finish their degree because of the quality of the program. That to me, that says a lot. And so these are based on the number of students. It's in order. Business administration is next, which obviously the chamber is very interested in. Criminal justice, that was already large. And then we became this year, we've got national press for becoming the first HBCU in the country to have a police academy on its own campus. Chief Gary Hill's office right down here at the end of Chestnut and Leslie. And there's a police academy there in the Leslie Plaza. And that's where we train this first group of officers this year. We're going to start that second class here next week. And then we also have signed a partnership with St. Louis County Police to go there to offer the same training to 25 police officers per semester for the next 5 years, which is huge. And I think that's what Gary's vision for the program, Chief Hill's vision was for the program. And we're also going to explore opportunities to do the same thing in Kansas City. As we know, it's been highlighted over the last 18 months, the relationship between the community and the police. And so Chief has come up with the concept that he believes, and we believe, can transform what those relationships look like. And so we actually hired 3 of the officers ourselves to begin their careers here at Lincoln upon completion, which graduation was in June. So we've got a lot of work to do in that space. Wellness, elementary education. We have a need for teachers. My thing, I went to school to be a teacher. That was initially my start. Physical education, I knew I wanted to coach. I want to say to everybody, if you have a child that wants to become a teacher, encourage them to do so. We need better and greater and more teachers. That is a profession that's slowly declining. Not from the quality, but certainly from the quantity. People are having a hard time finding teachers. And one of the things I want to say about wanting to become a teacher, if you want to become a teacher at Lincoln. Number one, it was founded on education. Since it was founded, it was about educating people. And in Missy, when it was founded to educate Black Americans to learn how to teach reading and writing so they could go out throughout the state and teach other Black Americans how to read and write. So that's been who we are since the beginning. And if you want to become a teacher, Don't bury yourself in so much debt from going to a school where you're gonna spend a lot of money and maybe your football Saturdays are more fun. But for the next 30 years, you're gonna be paying for all that fun. I halfway joke, but y'all know I'm serious too. I've got a sister that's another school principal that to this day she's 40, I'm 44, she's 46, she's 47, she's had a birthday, and she's still paying college loans. All right? To be a teacher. And I say to be a teacher because it's a shame, because think about what you do in your career and where you would be without a teacher. And that's why I'm disappointed with how we've treated society, I'm getting off now, society, how we treat teachers. You say they only work 9 months, but the 9 months they work, I would not trade them for what I make to go into their classroom and do what they do for 9 months. It's a passion. They do it because they want to change your child's life and many other children too. And so I highly encourage you to support education. These are the next 5. Nursing appears again, agriculture appears. Dr. DeWeek is here. We are an 1890 land grant institution because we're an HBCU. We receive a lot of federal money. All right, I'm gonna quickly throw one little jab in here though. We don't get our land grant matched. Mizzou gets their land grant matched, 100%. I've got a Mizzou degree. I didn't come out here thinking I would have a Mizzou degree. I believe fully, and I said this as a basketball coach and AD, you can support Mizzou and still be true blue. Hands down. You can support Mizzou and still be true blue. Why do I say that? You know, Dr. Choi is becoming a good friend and a good mentor for me. Your donation to Mizzou, it may be a drop in the bucket at Mizzou. Down here, it's a difference maker. Your $100 membership to the Blue Tiger Athletic Club wouldn't get you 2 tickets to a football game at Mizzou. That's just the truth. But down here, it makes a difference because that $100 is then split back among 11 athletic programs. And so when we talk about the land grant, we say, hey, Mizzou's received their full land grant. I only have information going back to 2000, but from 2000 to 2015, Lincoln University had to use its core funding to help match the requirements so that the university could draw down the federal funds. Just think about that now. Mizzou got 100%, no questions asked, 100 to 100. We were getting like 25%. We had to pay the other 25% out of the budget that the state gave us, and then in order for us to get the land grant. And then in 2015, the university made a decision to no longer do that. And we have seen an increase in the amount we've received in the land grant in the last 5 years. But, so some may say, well, why are you complaining? The last 5 years it's going up. Well, what happened, at least going back to 2000 to 2015, there's $43.5 million the university spent of its own core budget to match the land grant to make sure we can serve the state. And what happened as a result of that? We have facilities that desperately need maintenance. We didn't have the money for it. We had scholarships that we desperately need to get the students to transform the academic profile of this institution. We didn't have the money for it. We have a faculty and staff, many of whom are committed to the success of Lincoln. I've learned that this summer. They're committed to it. That if they drove 30 minutes north, their salaries would go up $10,000 to $15,000 to $20,000, including my own wife, who's a minority female, now with the doctor. But she loves Lincoln. And so we have a number of those people on our campus that we've been unable to reward. We had our first COLA raise for the first time in the last 5 years. We're losing employees because other institutions are saying, hey, you're more valuable to us than you are to your institution. And some of that's come about because I can't say how they would have spent the money. I can tell you how what I would address with it if we were fortunate enough to start to get a portion of it back. And it comes with making sure we have good facilities, making sure we have quality in teachers and staff members here, and making sure we've got scholarships available for students. And so I ask you, what potential degree programs or certificate programs would benefit your business or industry? There was a survey done several years ago by the Chamber, I believe. And so it's the information at this point is probably dated because the market changes so much. But we may want to revisit this just so we can hear from you all and from the city constituents of what can we do. We've heard the need for certificate programs, maybe for state employees, maybe for some business owners. And so we'd like to have those conversations. If you have ideas about that, please share. I quickly put this on here because I think this is one of the most powerful monuments on any college campus in this country. I'm gonna quickly tell you a story, and some of you probably already know it, but maybe you don't know the whole thing. This university was founded by soldiers of 62nd, 65th Colored Infantry. Oftentimes, that's where the story stops. With the help of their white lieutenants. These lieutenants set these soldiers around campfires in Texas as they fought in the Civil War. At a time in which it was illegal for Black Americans to learn how to read and write, these white lieutenants, there's about 10 of them, they taught these soldiers at night how to read and how to write, and then they would go back to battle the next day. And then these soldiers and these lieutenants collected their own funds. They had this dream sitting around these campfires about starting this institution. It was originally supposed to be in St. Louis. They wouldn't let them set up shop there because they were Black and brown. And so they continued west until they got to Jefferson City, and then they set up Lincoln Institute in Jefferson City. And the first principal of Lincoln Institute was one of those white lieutenants. His name was Richard Baxter Foster, who right now we have a facility on our campus named Foster Hall. And so I believe that from its inception, this university has been about people from different backgrounds working together for a common goal. That mission remains today. We should be the beacon of what should be in America right now. While all these other people are having conversations about race and how things work together, we should be the model for saying this is how people from different backgrounds come together for a common goal. So when you go end up at the hospital and you have a nurse from Missouri, from Lincoln University, that you know they have cultural competence. When you encounter a business person that may not look like you, that they know cultural competence and they're confident in those spaces. I just believe that that's what we should be about. And we got to stop all this narrative that one takes away from the other. And the last one, this is a tough deal. This is a really, really, really hard job. This is a huge challenge. I'm a very positive person, and I'm confident Lincoln University can take a different direction. Do the numbers scare me? Not at all. I took over a struggling program when I came here as a basketball coach, and I will say that was one day that I sat at my desk and said, what in the world am I doing? I was coming off of 28 and 6 years, a big ring for a championship, and I'm thinking, man, what have I gotten myself into? I've had one of those days so far. All right, and about 6 years ago, I read this quote that's on the board right now, and it stayed with me. And I rewrite it every month that I flip our calendar on my desk calendar. I write it in the little blanks with whatever dates are available, because it's a constant reminder that difficult does not mean impossible, but it most likely requires you to get out of your comfort zone. That's for every one of us. And so I'm there on a daily basis. I'm blessed with a great staff, including Laura Bennett, who's here. We have a number of people on campus today that could not make it down because of their responsibilities. I'm going to close out by saying thank you to Gary and to the Chamber and to the United Way with AMBACS today. We have 5 groups going out for a day of service in Jefferson City. We have 52 volunteers that are working on 5 different projects today. And then the Chamber's coming over for a job fair today. We have, you see it on your tables. There's 40-some businesses that are going to be represented there. I'm excited by that. I'm scared as heck right now too. Let me be honest, because I don't want these businesses to be disappointed if things don't work out 100% today. The pressure that I feel today is greater than any day I've been the president so far, because I think we're at a point as an institution, as a city, that we want to see this thing work. And so we're asking students to go to a job fair today. Many of them have never had a day of preparation for what should go into a job fair. A lot of our freshmen are here. We're having to say, hey, make sure you put on nice clothes. And this is things that we don't think about, because you wake up in the morning and you've had a life experience where you already know, okay, I should do that or I should do this. And some of these students is brand new to them. So I'm just asking Gary and everybody else that if you have a business representative today, we're hoping to put our best foot forward today. We're hoping we have a number of students that need jobs today. This turnout has been amazing from the community. We want to be able to reciprocate that. But if we stub our toe today, just in case, and I hope we don't, but if we stub our toe today, come back. Give us a little time to get the train on the track and come back. Because we've got a lot of great students at Lincoln, a lot of great students. And so we want them to understand the value. I want to quickly close, Gary. I'll answer any questions. I know some of y'all have to go to work. I do too. But I'm at work. That's the best thing for me. But listen, seriously, I've seen it. It gives me great pride to walk around this community for people to say, hey, listen, we appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate what you guys are doing. If this university in this city misses this opportunity, we're going to regret it for a long, long time. Lincoln should be a hub for Jefferson City. We should be producing employees for your businesses. We should have faculty and staff that are living here to support your businesses. And so I see it. I don't care what's happened in the past. We are at this moment together now, and what are we gonna do different? And so I ask for your support. I don't know completely what that looks like. I'm having to research that myself. I'm spending a lot of time writing down what I believe the true vision of this university is. This is the easy, low-hanging fruits. But a better Lincoln means a better Jefferson City. Thank you.
We've got time for a couple of questions. Anybody want to direct one to Dr. Moseley?
I don't have a question. I just want to tell you, coming from Brothersville, I grew up there. Lincoln is a difference maker.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of people. Any other questions? I'm around. My email's president@lincolnu.edu.
Any idea for making Lincoln more a part of Jefferson City? They seem somewhat separated.
It's events like this. It's events like this job fair. It's a matter. You know, it's on both sides. Like, hey, listen. I'm gonna be candid. As a white guy in Jefferson City, you know, I never feared walking in different spaces because most of the people in those spaces were gonna look like me. We have to be understanding as a community that many of these students come from backgrounds that, especially our residential students, they don't look like you. They've never moved in those spaces. They don't know if they're welcome. And so I took 2 players up the High Street 2 years ago, 2 of my basketball players for the first time to go to San Tuxedo, and those young men said, I've never been on this street before. I'm thinking, wow, you've been in college in this town for 2 years and you've never been here. But our students are gonna go to Walmart and Target, and Sonic and McDonald's, and Taco Bell and Applebee's and Buffalo Wild Wings. And Jeff City people go to the mom and pops. We support local businesses. But these students don't know if they're welcome in those spaces. And so how we engage that conversation is really critical. You know, when we look at Jefferson City, now I might get a little bit, I might lose a couple of you, but when you have Thursday night lives and every week it's rock and it's heavy metal and it's country, and you never have a jazz night, and you never have something for these students to feel like they can be a part of, like they have to go do it somewhere else. Like, come on now, that's on us. That's truly on us, and that may step on a couple of toes right there, but if we want to say we really want to be involved in Lincoln, and then we've got to do our part as Lincoln. So I'm not saying it's the city's fault, but I'm saying that both of us can sit down and think about some things that we can do to be more inclusive of people that may not look like us. And you know what? I believe we've got more in common than we have in differences, but the world wants to tell you that we're so different. And so I am going to start a mentoring program for young men. And I'm going to announce it tomorrow night, and I've got the guy that's going to run that because we're going to try to identify about 25 young men on our campus and give them a local mentor that may look like you and I. Because I think you've got something to learn from them, and they've got something to learn from you. Take them out to lunch, spend time with them, help them navigate this process. I just think we could be difference makers. There you go. Thanks for opening that door for me.
Great answer. Great answer.
I think that's a great one to end on. Thank you very much, Dr. Moseley. Susan, I'll turn it back to you.
Sure. Thank you. Does anybody in the few minutes we have here have any announcements that they would like to share about their business? Anyone on Zoom want to unmute? I'm sorry, I didn't give the folks on Zoom an opportunity to introduce themselves.
It's not on the business side, but I just want to thank Dr. Moseley spoke for the Eastside Business Association last week. And we as an association, part of the strategic plan developed a few years ago was bullet point blank support Lincoln University. And we had a board retreat recently to figure out how we can better do that. So at the association level, along with businesses, figuring out what that means. So I hope that we can continue that. And if you're interested in getting involved at the ESBA level to support Lincoln, we want to buy a table to their event and support through Blue Tigers or come up with other ideas. But I hope that relationships like that help bring light to the East End as an Eastside resident as well. But I hope that continues to form because I know the ESBA has tried to engage with Lincoln with maybe not a lot of engagement back from Lincoln, and everyone is really hopeful that with Dr. Moseley that is changing. So thank you for all that.
Anybody else?
I can announce
Dawn.
with Susan. I sit on the board for Central Missouri Foster Care and Adoption Association, and fundraising events and things like that, of course, really took a hit last year. And so we are able to do an in-person or luau this year is on August 26th. So for $20, you can come enjoy Rebel Tacos, live music, adult libations. It is family friendly. So check it out at nofosteradopt.com. But again, Central Missouri Foster Care and Adoption Association luau. Come on outside and enjoy kind of the end of the summer bash.
John, where is that gonna be held?
Mill Bottom.
Mill Bottom, good.
Mill Bottom.
What time?
6 o'clock. There's different musical acts, but Cherry Pistols are our big band. So.
Anybody else have an announcement? We're all involved in a lot of great things. Yeah, Dennis?
Moseley, you might want to put a plug in for tomorrow night.
Yeah, is
I'm
everybody?
gonna let you do that, you know? I'm the president of the university. I can't just speak on athletics now. People get upset with me. You know, see you tonight, tomorrow night, right here in the link, we're expecting about 500 people. It is a great night. It is truly a fun fundraiser. And tickets are $50 each. You can buy a table for $500. It gets you extra drinks, extra chips. So we have really great end of the night prizes. We have a few items that we're going to auction off. All 100% of the money is going to support directly our 11 athletic programs that we offer. And I may get to speak one more time tomorrow.
Okay, anybody else? Other announcements? Okay, well, with that, I will,
Yeah.
oh, that's all right. All right. We'll see you next month. There we go. September 10th is our next Friday coffee, and our topic is going to be the City of Jefferson's comprehensive plan. So hope that you can join us. That will be back at the Chamber office. Friday coffee is always on the second Friday, 9 o'clock, the Chamber. So Gary, anything you want to add? Very good. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye. There you go, and we'll turn it off.